and welcome to Executive Encore, the podcast dedicated to empowering and inspiring women like you who are navigating the complexities and the opportunities of their Encore years. This is a time for growth, reinvention, and thriving with purpose. It's also a time for us to look back at some of the messages that we've received over our lifetime and think a little differently as we share stories and expert advice to help you build a fulfilling life that leverages your incredible experience. So today I'm honored to have a truly remarkable guest, Dr. Ebru. Dr. Ebru is an award-winning immunologist and molecular medicine specialist whose work is at the forefront of understanding how our skin ages. She is a brilliant mind behind Evercina, a luxury skincare brand that marries cutting-edge science with holistic self-care. Her groundbreaking research focuses on inflammationing the chronic low-grade inflammation that accelerates the aging process. Dr. Ebru is going to help me with that pronunciation of that term quite a bit. Dr. Ebru's mission is to empower us with the knowledge and the tools to defend our skin and to nurture our well-being from the inside out. It's a pleasure to invite her and to be excited about learning from her expertise today. Welcome to the show, Dr. Ebru. How are you today?
I'm good, Patricia. I'm happy to be here, and don't worry about the pronunciation. I sometimes do the mistake, so it's okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to start off with what's relevant about inflammation, but it's not that well understood, especially for accomplished women who have navigated high stress careers. So, what's the connection between daily stress and our skin, and how exactly does the stress that we experience day to day accelerate the signs of inflammation?
Definitely. So, unfortunately, we're very stressed, especially these
Mhm.
days, right? Not much we can do about that. However, stress increases our cortisol levels in our brain and in our body because there is a mechanism called fight or flight response. So the body doesn't know if you are escaping from a dinosaur or trying to fight against the dinosaur when you're stressed, right? That comes from the evolutionary chain. Either case, the brain says, I'm in danger. I need to preserve, all that all my energy, and I need to protect myself. However, that's a toll on you. So it's
Mhm.
not supposed to be always, you're not supposed to have strain. Stress is just there to say, brain, we're under stress. Where's the problem going on? It spikes up and it's supposed to go down. However, in our daily life, it is constant. We cannot turn it on. It's the news on the TV or, or the traffic or something else, right? So
Yeah.
when you think about aging, it impacts, like, the stress eventually takes its toll on your body, on your soul. And yes, it aids us. So every thought, every deadline, every sleepless night send us biochemical signals on the body and the brain, and the body reads us as danger. Cortisol, adrenaline surge to protect us, but the on switch never turns off. The body forgets how to return to its balance. So
Mm.
this also induces this constant micrograde or low grade state of alert, which we call inflammation. So, inflammation comes from two words. It's a combination of two words: inflammation, which is the low grade, micrograde inflammation, and aging, because this is a slow, invisible inflammation that quietly breaks down your collagen in your skin, damages your lipids, weakens your skin barrier that holds the moisture inside the skin. And that's only the skin part. But this also wears and tears your joints, your organs, your muscles, your brain, and at the end, your soul, because there's constantly kind of inflammation going on in your body. So there is also a little distinction here, a very important distinction actually. So the industry, whether it's nutrition or supplement or beauty industry, they have been pushing this inflammation is bad to us for the
Mhm.
last year. So there's a very important point here. Not every inflammation is bad. There are kinds of inflammation. So the acute inflammation that we need to stay alive is it comes up, for example, when you get a bacteria or the flu virus, you know, it comes in, your immune system says, oops, we're being invaded and I don't want this here. So but there's good news. There's very good news here. The immune system is self-correcting. So when you give it a reason to relax, it says, okay, there's something going on here. I can take it easy a little bit, and then you can downregulate the inflammation a little bit. So
Mhm.
10 minutes of breathing, sit in the corner and that kind of thing, or consistent sleep routine that helps to
Mhm.
rebuild the collagen. So these few mindful minutes of skincare or wellness procedures help, like a small meditation, signal safety to your brain and to your soul and to your body because everything is connected, right?
Mhm.
And these signals calm your immune system at the end and down regulate them.
Mhm. So now I can say inflammaging. So inflammaging. I understand that now. Thank you very much for pronouncing that for me. And it made me think about all the things that we talk about self care that are not about piling things onto our skin, but about how we're dealing with stress, right? So the sleep, if we're not well, taking time to recover. And so yeah, that was a really good explanation. I really appreciate that. So this leads me to the next point that I'd like to talk to you about, and that women notice that their skin is becoming more reactive and sensitive over time. Like I've noticed my own skin, my body skin in particular. I sometimes wonder if it's what I'm putting on my skin, but it does seem to be more sensitive. You advocate for simpler science backed routines. Could you talk a little bit more about the rise of skin sensitivity and why less is often more?
Definitely. This is a very, very important topic. And right now, dermatologists and immunologists, we're all witnessing this epidemic of sensitivity. And
Mm,
that's definitely connected with stress. So when people say everything irritates my skin, it's not only the products, it's also the pressure on you.
mhm,
So we live in a time where our skin is constantly, and us, we're under siege constantly. This could be blue light, city pollution, 10-step Korean skincare exfoliation included. I really don't like that 10-step, by the way, and we're gonna go into it with the less and more thing. And also the aggressive actives layered on top of each other. Our skin is our immune barrier. It's your first line of defense, and also it's a living shield. So when it is overloaded, it becomes confused, to be
mm,
honest. That's it.
mm,
And it doesn't know if it's under attack or being cared for. So, for example, you have sensitive skin, you see this new trend in TikTok where they're doing a morning shed, which is applying all the possible skincare products you can think of at night and you shed it in the morning, which is crazy, or step Korean beauty regime where you're exfoliating and using toners and all that, and 10 steps, morning and night, which comes to 20 steps, by the way, when you and like think like this during COVID, we put masks, remember, and it was touching our face, and everybody was breaking out because it was constantly touching our face. So when you think about it, if you do a morning shed or a 10 step, the skin is gonna say, I'm under attack. She's touching me too much. That's basically it.
mhm.
So what happens, I would like to call it skin ends hypervigilant mode. So the
Yeah.
barrier starts leaking moisture, microbiome can lose its diversity. Langerhans cells can overreacting. So that's why you start suddenly getting more sensitive and sensitive. It's like dog chasing its tail, like, oh, I
Mm,
need to touch my tail. Basically, that's so.
mhm.
The antidote is not adding more steps. It is strategic simplicity. Here is why. So
What does that look like?
well, I'm gonna go with 3 products only. Okay, you don't need 10 steps. You don't need thousands of different retinols, and all that. There's a time and a
Okay,
place. So if
okay.
you are sensitive, and if it has become to a point where it's a medical problem, first see your dermatologist to see if there is something underlining some other problem going on. If it's not, step back, leave all the products, okay? And then
Mhm.
be well chosen science backed products, okay? And also, I want to stress not every cheap product is good for you. So there is a point where you stop here and think, yes, I bought this $12 niacinamide serum, but where did they cut corners from? Or
Oh,
got this $20 matrix solution for anti-aging. How is it $20? Because Matrixil is not cheap when you try to buy it in kilograms. It's not cheap. I mean, we also know the supplier end of things and the prices are going up. So it always makes me question, where did they cut the corners from? So I don't want a product that to put a product on my face that gives me that question. Period.
mm,
So
mhm,
that's one
mhm.
thing. You need science-backed products that did the testing, has dermatological approval, and all that calms, protects, and nourishes, and that are more effective than 10 different products that can compete with each other.
Mhm.
And here's why. Let's come back to less is more. So, less is more. Yes, 3 products is more because then you are giving your skin breathing space. But sometimes you need to also ask this question to yourself. I'm getting this cream, for example. Will it work during the day and will it work at night? You don't need 5 different anti aging creams. One multitasking and multifunctional cream will do it. That's how we formulate our stuff. So that is where less one cream has more multitasking.
Oh,
So there's 2 aspects to less and more. Less products, that does more
mhm,
inside
mhm,
inside of the product.
mm.
So that's when it gets really important. And those products can be a little bit more expensive than ordinary or the other products, but you're getting more.
Mhm, mhm,
That's the thing.
mm,
You're getting more for your money
mm,
because in that case, when you're using a multitasking product, you use less. Your
mhm,
skin doesn't need a lot. Like you don't have to smear your skin completely with a cream. A little dollop will be enough. So when you stop overwhelming your skin with this strategy, the immune network says, okay, I can calm down. She's not poking me anymore 5 seconds,
mm,
you know? And then
mm.
it starts restoring itself, calming itself in 21 days, which is one skin cycle. That's perfect.
Okay.
So I often say healthy skin isn't built, it's not built in layers of product. It is built in moments of calm and the multitasking products, the right science.
Mhm,
And the research supports this. So
mhm.
less chaos, more chemistry that makes
Mm,
sense to you, and simplify your routine so you can amplify your results.
mm. That makes sense to me. Like I come from, early days, teen magazine telling us what our routine should look like. And it seems over the years it got more and more and more complicated to your point. Now there's many steps, right? And well, we used to use astringents and things like that, all sorts of stuff that would irritate our skin. But so are you saying that there's still the simple routine of like morning and evening?
Definitely. For example, definitely a very gentle, sorry about that, pH balanced cleanser. And depends on the season. So if it's winter, a good facial oil, if you're very dry,
Yeah.
and a
Mhm.
good cream.
Mhm.
And if it's more hotter temperatures like summer or end of spring, definitely a water-based serum and a cream.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
what the oil and the serum will do, so the cleanser will remove the impurities, definitely. And you want it so gentle so it doesn't strip your microbiome or your skin barrier. And
Mhm.
then if you're using the oil, go for an oil with peptides and vitamins in it. And I love squalane because it's in our skin sebum as well. So apply that with the cream because the cream is your last step. It seals in the
Mhm.
transepidermal water loss. Love it.
Mhm.
And you do it during the morning and at night. And what you can do also, if you don't have enough time, wash your face, mix the face oil with the cream in your hand, apply it. One step. You can combine two steps. And at night, if you want to treat yourself, you can apply the serum by massaging. Or if you're in a hurry, you want to go to bed, mix the serum with the cream, and you're done.
Okay, so some different ways of having a good routine. And what I took from that is that, yes, it's simple, but it does change seasonally depending on where we live, right?
Yes,
So,
yes. So
yeah,
if you're in New York, it's going to be drier compared to Georgia. Georgia is more
yeah,
humid.
yeah. I know I'm starting to feel the dryness of the heat now in the house. So, yeah, time to take a look at how I'm replenishing that moisture, right? So, well, talk about replenishing. That's very refreshing and empowering perspective that working with our skin, not against it by poking, as you were saying, like putting all sorts of things on it. It sounds like a much more sustainable and nurturing approach, especially if we take it on as a self care thing and slow down. Like you talked about massaging some of the things into our face rather than the quick cleanup and get off to bed. Like we can still. That's good for the soul as well. Feeling something like that on your skin and massaging it. So I can see that slowing down our night routine can be very beneficial for us, right? For stress. So there's another point that I'd like to speak to you about, and that is the long term consequences of ignoring inflammation. And what is the most important first step that most of us or some of us can take to start addressing it today?
Well, there are a couple steps. Of course, this when it starts showing up on the skin, it's smearing. And how I can explain this is, sorry about that. If it's showing up on your skin, it's calling for help. Your body's
Hmm.
calling for help because there's no other way. Like you can feel the pains and the aches, but when it starts showing up on your skin, it says, "Okay, you're looking in the mirror. Can you help me out here because there's a problem here." Because it also shows up what's going on in your body, in your mind. So turn in the 5 minutes, go into the corner and breathe. Or if you have a puppy, hug your puppy. Or if you like gardening, go outside, put your feet on the ground and ground. Seriously, these help because we look like we're individuals, but we're not. We're all connected. We're connected to the energy, we're connected to the environment. I mean, think about like this. Somebody comes into your office and pisses you off with their bad mood. Your mood changes, right? Because their energy infected you. Walk away.
Yeah.
Walk away from the negativity. That's one. And I'm preaching to myself too, by the way. Second of all, drink your water. Coffee doesn't count as water. Like Coca-Cola doesn't count as water. Drink your water. And eat good food. It's harder these days because the prices went up, but please pay attention. I mean, I'm not saying you don't treat yourself to a good hamburger and ice cream. Just don't do it every day because there are studies that show that fast foods and increased sugar intake can induce
Hmm.
inflammation. You don't want that. And then
Hmm.
focus on yourself. Award yourself for doing a great job and your skin. Award yourself and your skin. Get the skincare you need, not the cheap one, not the extremely expensive one. Do your homework because you deserve the best. Seriously. I
Mhm.
mean,
Yeah.
we've been working like crazy, right? So if we don't do these in the long run, this is what's going to happen. You're going to have more breakup, more acne coming up,
Mhm.
premature aging. You're going to have more lines and fine lines showing up. You're going to feel it in your body and you're not going to be happy. So, but
Mhm.
this is fixable. It's just that.
Mhm. 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 Well, that's incredible. The insights there. Some of them I think we've heard before, but the way you're explaining the connection to the skin and the overall routine of taking care of our skin, taking care of ourselves, taking care of ourselves spiritually as well, how that's all connected. And I, the takeaways for me is that the chronic stress contributes to inflammation, and why a simple science-backed skincare routine is much superior than the cheap all the cheap stuff at the drugstore or the grocery store or whatever. Like investing in our skin, I think that's the big takeaway for me, is investing in our skin, and how addressing inflammation is key to healthy aging, and perhaps age with grace, as much grace as we want to as we can,
True.
right?
True.
So Dr. Ebru, I have a question that I ask all my guests. And when did you recognize that you were ready to remaster your life and perhaps your work with intention? Was there a particular moment for you?
Oh God. Yeah, definitely.
Are you able to share it with us?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm just thinking. There's a lot of moments like, oh
Yeah.
God, you gotta dim it down. You gotta take it back. But one of them is, when I was doing my PhD, I was living opposite of what I was trying to teach here, right?
Mhm,
And 14 hours days, 16 hours
mhm,
days. Sometimes I never slept because the experiments were going on and on. And one day I got really sick. I
mhm,
mean, I crashed. I crashed and I
mhm,
was alone and there was nobody in the house, not to anybody to give me a cup of soup. I mean, I was crying at home and my mom called and I'm like venting out like, what am I doing with my life? kind of thing,
mhm, mhm. Yeah.
And she's a pathologist. She retired now and she's a pathologist oncologist and she was like, and she got on my case. I mean, she was like, stop crying. Stop crying. You know this better than anybody. You're crashing your immune system just working like this. And if I
Yeah.
tell your dad, who was a transplant surgeon, by the way, and if I tell your dad, he's going to be on your case. Do you want your dad? I'm like, no, 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 no. because he would. And that's when, and my skin was breaking out. I mean, I had acne everywhere, like back, face, neck. Boy, did it hurt. And my mom was like, kid, this is not working. You gotta get your stuff, your ducks in a row, your cats in a row. I don't care which animal you're using here, but and yeah, and I was like, I woke up that morning, I was like, yeah, I mean, I better do what I preach.
Is that
So,
interesting? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then
Many of us.
and I hated the skincare I had then because
Yeah.
I spent all this money to fix my skin, and when you're a student, every cent is valuable and nothing was working. And I even got like I got the green clinic one. I got it
Oh,
and I
yeah.
used it. And
Yeah.
one of my husband later said, "Your face looks great." The next day, my face looked great, and it looked so
Great.
bad. And that's when I started. I was like, I got pissed. We have all this science available, open source, and these big companies, these expensive brands, are not using for us. That was another breakout point. And then just looking into my research, looking into my life, and then how your stress affects everything.
Mm,
Just the fusion became in my mind the immuno wellness thing.
mhm,
Like my health impacts my brain,
mhm.
my thoughts impact my health. Everything is connected.
Everything is connected.
That
Yeah.
was that was the thing. And then when one speaks too loudly, the others suffer.
Mm,
Everything needs to be in balance.
mm,
So now like all these talks I'm giving and I'm trying to share my knowledge as much as possible is how to read their body's language, how to read their skin, from how they shift from stress to safety or safety to stress. And because your immune system does not fixing, it doesn't need perfection. It needs peace. It needs you. It
Mhm,
needs you to listen.
mhm.
So yeah, balance first, beauty follows.
Good. So, how can our audience learn more about your work and explore your beautiful line of skincare on Avicina and learn about your book? Tell us a little bit about your book.
The book is awesome. I'm not gonna be, humble about it. It is a noir thriller. It makes you cry, it makes you think, it makes you scared, and it gives you a lot of background about the beauty industry and how we founded
Oh,
Avicina. So
okay.
it's a small book. It's a very easy read, and I gave it to my husband after I finished it, and he read it, and then he came down crying because
Oh,
when I established Avicina, I gave birth when I was 49. I'm 52, by the way, now, no wrinkles. So it's doable. So my father passed away 4 months after I gave birth, and that's when we were establishing Avicina. And I wrote a part about that there, and my husband came down crying, and he was
oh,
like, "This is impossible. How did you write this?"
mhm, mhm.
And he read all of it and he said, "I want to read more. You need to write more. This is pretty cool."
Really?
So it entertains, it makes you cry, it breaks your heart. It's a good book for anybody who wants to learn the backstage of the beauty industry or anybody who wants to establish a brand. I put
Mhm,
all the information in there, and it is called the Empire of Mirrors because this beauty industry is an empire of mirrors. It's shiny, but it breaks down quickly. So you can find that book on Amazon, Empire
mhm,
of Mirrors, Expose of Beauty Untold,
mhm.
and Audible is coming weeks.
Oh,
And
good.
also, yeah, I mean, it's going to be really cool. And you can also find us on avicina.com. If you want to reach to me, you can just send us an email if you have any
Mhm.
questions. And you can reach us to us on Instagram, Avicina.
Okay.
And
Mhm,
we respond as much as we can. We get a lot of input. So I would be
mhm.
more than to help anybody who's out there. Seriously.
Well, anyone who's watching, you'll be able to see all the links in the ticker at the bottom, but they will be in the show notes as well. If you're listening to a podcast and you go onto the podcast, you'll be able to get the links there. Uh, so I hope people do get in touch with you so that they can continue this education and this conversation about our skincare routines and about what's good for us and what's not so good for us. Because we hear so much, right? We think they're all credible because why would they sell something that's not credible? But I can understand there could be a lot of waste as well. So
So I explained all that in the book so they can
yeah, oh, that's
see
good.
how it
That's good.
works, how beauty works. They can see that. But I want to
Yeah.
just mention one thing. N-
Hmm.
Nobody is rich enough to buy bad products, or you're not rich enough. I'm not rich enough to buy cheap products because this is your health on the line. Don't listen to the celebrity beauty because they're not formulating themselves. They're giving it to a lab and they do it, and then they give all that money to an ad agency or a PR agent. Go for
Yeah.
the smaller brands that
Yeah.
know what they're talking about.
You said the older brands?
No, celebrity brands and big brands.
So go with the celebrity brands.
Don't go
Or
with the celebrity
don't go with the
brands.
celebrity.
Yeah,
Okay.
because
Okay.
they're giving the money out there. They're investing in it, and a lab does it. They don't have a clue what's going on, and they have, I don't know, plastic surgeons 24/7 on their phone call. You know.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. Okay, well, thank you for those people who are listening. what I usually ask for is for you to contact my guest and also to sign up for the newsletter, because Dr. Ebru will be featured in the blog this week and the newsletter that will be published this Sunday, that I believe is November 9th. And by subscribing to the newsletter, you will also get an exclusive offer from Dr. Ebru. So please do that. Go onto my website, read the blogs, sign up for the newsletter, as I said, and give comments on YouTube and in the podcast, please, because that's how this information is going to be shared with other women who need this kind of information. So, as I always say, take care of yourself. Do what's best for you. So Dr. Ebru will tell you what's best for you, and don't jeopardize what you have built for yourself. Thank you, and bye-bye.
Thank you.